Backlash.
Fury just been ducking everyone.
Yeah, I have strong views on Fury.
See that? That's the equivalent of KSI fighting Mayweather. Ain't no one want to see that fight, man.
He's not about the money though. He'll fight for free.
But what you're offering them doesn't make sense.
Who do you think he's ducked though?
Rumors behind it sounds a bit spicy, personally. It sounds a bit.
His agent come out, it would ruin Tyson.
Welcome to another episode of Bloodlust Boxing. I'm Sav.
I'm Baz.
And today I'm pleased to be joined by Eric, who's been on the show before, and Eman for the first time. Welcome.
Thank you for having us on.
Eric and Eman have got a podcast. Do you want to plug it, guys?
Yeah, why not, man? No Shoes in the House podcast. Keep all the bad energy outside.
Yeah.
It's just general chit chat about what your conversation that you'll get amongst us lot, but you gotta get to hear it, kind of thing. So we can tackle all things from politics, money, red pill, blue pill, life, general, all that good stuff.
Everything. Sounds good.
Everything, depending on how we feel.
What we'll do is we'll put a link in the description, so go and check it out. But on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Tyson Fury, the news versus NGANNOU. I could feel it in the last episode. I was like, I can feel something's going to be announced. And then you had everything dropping. You had the AJ fight versus Whyte, and then Tyson Fury versus NGANNOU. But there's been a massive backlash.
No, I think you're actually missing another fight. Actually, the one of the biggest fights it flew under the radar.
What's that?
Daniel Dubois
versus
Usyk.
That's
Are they
true.
Are they fighting?
See,
I have ignored it. I think we ignored it a bit in the last video,
I think everyone ignored it. I think personally, I feel like what's happened is that everyone's trying to fight before Christmas. That's what I think. Everyone's trying to fight before Christmas, but the big fights aren't happening. But everyone needs to get a fight underneath their belt.
A fight under
the side. You know. So Fury just been ducking everyone.
Is it no one wants to fight Fury, or Fury doesn't want to fight?
No, that's what I was gonna say. I think Fury doesn't want to fight people, man. Like Fury, as much as he talks a big game, he's proven that he's a ducker, man. Like I have strong views on Fury, man. He to be honest, I rate his skill level, but he has to fight the best of the best. Like you have to. It doesn't matter when you fight them, but you have to constantly keep fighting them. So I mean, he's proven that he doesn't want to do it.
Well, are you telling me this NGANNOU fight doesn't work for you?
Oh please, come on, man. Come on, look, ain't no one want to see that. That's the equivalent of KSI fighting Mayweather. Ain't no one want to see that fight, man. It's like this is the thing I don't understand about Fury, right? He's called out every say top 4, top 5 heavyweight boxer, right? He's offered them silly deals. They've all declined. Then he turned around and said to them, "Oh, no one wants to fight me. No one wants to fight me. They're all chicken. They're all this. You big dosses and whatnot." But what you're offering them doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the convenient excuse.
He's not about the money though. He'll fight for free. Except
yeah.
He always says he'll fight for free and give all his money to charity, but he somehow managed to land a massive deal. I'm guessing it's a big deal to go to the Middle East. So
the numbers will come out for sure. But just to add to that is you've had opportunity to fight warriors, like proper boxing,
to get some legacy.
Some warriors, and you've ducked all of them. Turn around and say, "I'm going to fight this guy," and at first the general narrative was,
but who do you think he's ducked though?
Usyk.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
That's a blatant duck. Yeah.
But is it or was it the numbers weren't making sense?
Oh, numbers making sense. Imagine, right? Yeah, it went back to the negotiation that we probably heard of, but I think it might have been a 50-50. He said no. Then he must have said like a 60-40. He said no. And then Tyson said, apparently, he said, "I'll do it for 70-30. Usyk said, "Sure, I'll do it. But my one condition, you got to donate 1 million
to Ukraine
pounds, to Ukraine." He said no. The rumors behind it sounds a bit spicy, personally. It sounds a bit.
What's the rumors?
Sounds a bit left field. It sounds like he doesn't want to support what Usyk wants to do. So
I mean, I can kind of understand a little bit with the politics side, not wanting to get involved on that. Like, if it was going to be a deal,
is that it though? Is that it? Because his agent come out and stated that it would ruin Tyson. So it's got to be something.
Usyk's. U6. Yeah. Krasic was saying.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think you're right, Eric. It was he didn't want to. I think he just didn't want to get involved with the whole politics side of it, and I don't blame him, to be honest. Then
how? Sorry, go on.
You take the million then, and you say, okay, well, I'll give it to you, and whatever you do with it, that's your choice. But he didn't want to give up that million, so either way, by the looks of it.
I mean, judging by there was an old video that circled around Tyson. Not sure if you saw it, and he said, "I don't want to fight in Eastern Europe or that part of Europe." He said, like, I don't want to fight Usyk. You remember that, Eman?
Yeah.
Something along the lines of like the British belts. So the belts should stay in Britain, and it kind of sounded a bit, dude.
Right.
Brexit.
Yeah. He's like.
I know on was it Undefeated podcast? They're not been happy with like how he goes about like promoting some of his fights, and I think we're the same. Like
Well,
he kind of puts this narrative out there. It's not quite, yeah.
He's alienated his fan base altogether.
100%.
The other day he released a short basically saying, "I got loads of money, screw all you poor people," and that's literally what it was. And you should have seen the comment section. People were flaming.
Yeah.
But you know with Fury though, without him fighting another British fighter, obviously we're talking about the fact that he's ducked Usyk. Do you think Fury has enough sway and enough fans to fight someone who's not British and for it to be a sellout?
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
Because I don't think people follow. Obviously, people follow Fury because of the controversy and stuff like that. But I don't think he has an ardent fan base like an AJ.
Right, yeah,
like,
yeah.
People would support AJ even till now. Like, fair enough, things haven't happened the way he would have wanted. But the way AJ had support was crazy. And I'm not too sure. Yeah.
Oh, got a bit of lag there. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I've got lag on my side.
Eric's
Probably
frozen
my,
up. Is he
it's
back?
probably my Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's it.
I've got dial-up.
Did you did Frankwarren supply your internet service?
Your broadband.
Look at the lag still there.
The lag is crazy, you know.
So you guys think Fury's alienated his fan base? It seems like he's alienated everyone, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah, definitely.
He's definitely someone that's turned from hero to villain overnight.
Yeah, because he was kind of like he went from a hero to a villain, back to a hero, and now he's back to a villain again. It's just like so many plot twists.
No, because I think with Fury, I think the jig is actually up with him. The jig is up. I mean,
but he's got a Netflix series coming out soon. Is it out now? Like,
that's his big news, isn't it?
Probably. But if you think about it now, he's okay. When was his last fight, Chisora? Yeah? That was awful.
But yeah, I think everyone gave him that Chisora fight because they thought they were going to get the Usyk fight, and then where we've not got the Usyk fight, that's what's annoyed everyone. That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. I think one of the things that's frustrating with like the heavyweight division is kind of like the fact that they are all ducking each other, and they all need to just be fighting each other. Because really and truthfully, if we say that Fury fought in December, he's now going to fight in October. So that's 10 months. So that's 10 months of him not being in the ring. Where I think who was it? I think Canelo was fighting 3 times a year at a minimum before obviously he started to dial things down. Like, and this is what we need to see from fighters, because when you look back at their legacy in terms of how you judge a fighter, the best thing Fury has done has been his 3 fights with Wilder, and nobody rates Wilder like that. Because
there was a big question mark, wasn't there, about Wilder's resume before he went into that Fury fight, and it's kind of been ignored a little bit now. I think now that AJ's lost, it's kind of been ignored a bit. But when you look at actually Wilder's resume, that's who's on there. You got old man Ortiz.
Old man Ortiz.
You got Stevern on there.
I mean, he obviously lost to Fury as well. But AJ, he's fought Usyk. Obviously, he didn't get the win. Fought Ruiz.
Dillian Whyte.
Vladimir, Pulev.
Klitschko.
Yeah.
Pulev.
Klitschko. His CV's actually decent.
Yeah.
Joshua's CV is way better. Way better.
He's got another thing. If you compare the Warriors on each resume, I think AJ comes out on top.
It's such a tricky thing with boxing, and that's why we love boxing. Is because at one point in AJ's career, I thought that if he took a fight with Fury, he would have a better chance of beating Fury, because I think we all know styles make fights, right? So even though Fury could probably beat Usyk, and obviously Usyk has beaten AJ, I thought AJ before he fought Usyk would have been a more difficult fight for Fury. And I still think that's the case. I still think that AJ would have a great chance against Fury than he does with Usyk. But Usyk and Fury, I would find it very difficult to call that fight, because I both think they're both really good.
I think with the Usyk and Fury fight, my only thing will be this: it's who's got the bigger tank. What I mean by that is they're both boxers that like to kind of win on points. Only Fury lately, because he's got a new trainer, he's been more of a knockout specialist who tries to be a knockout specialist. But before that, he was a points man. Like, I'll just try and go the distance with some of these fighters. And I think Usyk's the same, but Usyk's the type of person, I think he trains for like 15 rounds. And if you watch his fights, he doesn't really get into gear to like round 4, round 5. He's in like full swing, but he's a very, very, very slow starter, Usyk. And I think Tyson might thought to himself, can I weather the storm for that long? Because Usyk will land a lot of points. He'll land a lot of punches on you, a lot of punches. And he's tricky. He's a shorter fighter. So Tyson has to now punch down. Has Tyson ever been in the ring with someone like Usyk? Probably not. Has he even probably sparred with someone remotely like Usyk? Probably not as well. So I feel like Tyson's scared because he's not prepared or able to fight someone like Usyk. And I think for him as well, it looks bad if he loses. It looks really bad.
Oh yeah, it looked really bad. And as much as Eric was alluded to about the whole sort of situation with Fury and what we were saying about like Usyk and Eastern Europe, I think he could be scared of the Ukrainian blood, like, because Ukrainian fighters are like, especially the top ones, they're supreme boxers, man. Yeah. Like
Lomachenko,
different kettle of fish. Yeah, I think it's one of the things. I think we just have to just wait and see. Will we see the big top 4 fighters fight? Doubt it. I want to be proved wrong, or maybe this is everyone's tune-up fight to get everyone excited for the Saudi fight in December. But it depends. It depends on who comes out.
If AJ loses,
yeah, it's what I'm saying. So even fighting now so close to December is risky, because you could get a serious injury which takes you out completely. You're out. You miss out on potential millions of earnings that you potentially earn. So squeaky bum time, America, man. But I don't see a Usyk Fury fight happening till next year.
Yeah, I think it's next year now, because they've almost said it'll be next year because of timings. What chance do you give Dillian Whyte against AJ?
I think it's going to be an AJ win, and I think what solidifies that, I think it comes down to AJ's heart. I think AJ's got that little bit more heart, and he's got something to prove against Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, don't get me wrong, he's improved. But then again, so as
did we see the real Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury?
No,
that's the question mark.
He took the bag and ran.
Yeah,
you think so?
I think he waited so long for this fight, so long for an opportunity for the belt. I think he got tired and he thought, well, I'm here now.
He was doing most of the fighting outside the ring, wasn't he? In the legal side, like I think we said before, we still don't know what happened. Yeah, with the WBC, and so there's a lot of effort to get to that point, to get the fight, and it was just kind of like plus. His
and he didn't want to do any of the promotional stuff either, did he?
No, you remember there was a press conference and he didn't turn up either for that.
So his head probably wasn't even in the game anyway.
He didn't want it, man. He didn't want it. I think for him it was more of a just give me the money, man. Just give me the money. Like, because let's be honest as well, no one expected Dillian Whyte to beat Tyson.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one expected it, and I don't think he expected it either. He's like, this is let me just go out on my shield in like the 6th, 7th round and call it a day.
But
he wasn't on it though, man.
He's definitely going to raise his game against AJ though, because it's a local battle.
He will, but I think we'll see that AJ that who I say AJ got that alter ego. It's Femi, isn't it? Femi's the guy that comes up, the warrior, the fight.
like I've been watching AJ in the press build-up, and I don't know. I think a lot of people have said he's got this like don't give a fuck attitude like at the moment, but I think a lot of him is still thinking about what people think. Like he's still worried about what people think about him, even though a lot of people said he's lost that now.
Do you think that?
Yeah,
other than the stuff about the TalkSport, like he was a bit peed off with TalkSport about how they pander to Tyson Fury. But other than that, I didn't really see much else to say that.
You can tell in the answers that he's been given, it's like he sat there and he's thought about, okay, why am I annoyed at that? And then I'm gonna say this in the conference. So he's actually sat there and thought about it, because when he goes through every point, it's like you can see it's quite structured. Whereas I think he just has to have that attitude, like I don't care, like you lot can think whatever you want, I'm doing this. I still feel he's still overthinking things.
Yeah, but is that because of how like everyone's reacting to the way Tyson Fury acts now? Because the way that Tyson Fury acts, brash and don't give a crap, that's not working for him at the minute. He's losing his fan base. He's a joke now. So why is Joshua going to act the same by speaking out like that all the time?
I think
at least he's thinking about it.
A different AJ, I think, in this fight.
I think,
it would be good to see AJ kind of take off the shackles now, because we've seen the structured AJ. I think someone was even saying it in one of our group chats that or another group chat actually, that AJ is a very structured boxer. So he's very disciplined in terms of he will follow the game plan. But in terms of a maverick, or in terms of a wild card, that's not AJ. AJ won't deviate from the plan. And in some of his fights, he needs to be able to just think, this isn't working. What can I do to get to my end result mid-fight? Like it's kind of like the same thing within football. There are some managers who are good with setting up a particular game plan. But if the game plan doesn't work, what is your in-game management like? And I think with AJ, that's one of the things that's really lacking from his arsenal.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's where Derek James is great in the corner, and hopefully he'll be able to get a different response out of AJ if it's not going to plan. But we've got Daniel Dubois, as you said, fighting Usyk. What chance has he got against Usyk? No one's really given him a chance, but I've liked him in the press conferences like the last week or so. He's sort of like he's like, I'm going to bring pain.
Oh, Dubois.
Yeah,
that
he's like
cardboard, man. He's like honestly, that
he's got some good one-liners this week.
Honestly,
it's like what do you say? It's like
vanilla.
It's like everything that has a beginning has an end.
Honestly, like Dubois he can't sell a fight. He might as well like any beater. Even his language, his vocabulary is like, yeah, I'm coming to bring the pain. I'm gonna knock him out. You're not convincing, bro. You know.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. Like sometimes that
you're not convincing, man.
Psychological. It's a psychological before you get into the ring, isn't it? Like, yeah.
No, but here's what I'm saying though. Here's what I'm saying. I said the same thing. I think me and Ben was talking, right? Frankwarren. Apart from Fury and Anthony Yard, who else has Frankwarren done in the last 5 years? Like brought out into it. Tell me, please. Because Dubois, personally, hype. They gave him bombs to fight, and then he fought against the Juggernaut. Yeah, Joyce, right? Joyce is alright, but he made Joyce look really good. That was a Joyce on like 7.5, jabbed his head off.
Yeah.
Basics. And
Joyce made him quit. Made him quit. He's not all that. Listen. This is what I've been saying to Sub. I don't think he's got no heart.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to Eric's point in terms of like the fact that he's got no personality. He doesn't have any confidence in himself, like to be able to either sell a fight or have any confidence in his ability. Because I was thinking Dubois might actually rise to the top, maybe take over the mantle from AJ, but that's a long way off after that Joyce loss.
Yeah, you know? and he's getting old. He's not a kid anymore. He's actually getting older.
Yeah, exactly. And his sister's doing well though.
No,
she speaks really well as well.
She's really good. She carries herself well. Then again, I think the women. I'll be honest, I get more excited to watch the women fight than the men sometimes. The women, listen, the women will fight anyone. They will fight anyone. Like,
this is it, bro. Like that's the thing. The women create a spectacle. They create a spectacle.
I'm all for it. No one ducks the fights. It's like, yeah, cool. You want to fight? Cool, let's fight. They make it happen.
They got the 2-minute rounds, and they just put everything into those 2 minutes, don't they? like every round.
This is
No,
it.
but you know,
Like,
it's not even that. I think it's the logistics of it. It's like these don't wait 2 years to have a fight. They call someone out 3 months, 4 months, it's executed.
they call someone out, you know. Yeah, you're right.
No, it's true. It's like, I want to fight so and so. All right,
So
cool.
there's too many egos in the
New York,
heavyweight.
cool.
Well,
Way too many.
not just heavyweight division, but
That's an interesting aspect, though. Do you think that whether there's not enough money in women's boxing or whether there's too much money in men's boxing? Because maybe it's the fact that there's too much money on the line or too much legacy on the line. And I think you're right in terms of the fact that there is ego, because we see it with the whole, nobody wants to lose their O. What's happened with the Spence and Crawford thing taking, over 18 months to get that fight over the line, when really and truthfully we should have been watching that fight at the beginning of 2022, but we finally got it, but it's just like both guys now, aren't well, let's see how things pop off in their fight. But yeah, it's interesting to see how women differ in terms of just being able to just go out, because like we were saying with the heavyweight boxers, all the top 4 guys should be fighting one another, so we're just basically saying, he beat him, but he beat him, he ain't got this, and it should be a conversation, but we're talking about all the stuff that's not about boxing.
It's true. We're talking about the dramas. We're talking about the what ifs. The what ifs.
Yeah.
See, I think the problem is, like, I personally don't care who's the best and who's not the best. As long as you've got 2 competitive guys, similar sort of level, battling it out, then I'm happy with that. So it's like you got Cheeseman. I don't know if you guys seen any Cheeseman's fights. He's not like a A-star boxer, but he's always in a great fight, and he's always in 50-50 fights. Yeah. And it's like, I don't mind watching that.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 guys who are going to put it on the line and fight. Whereas I think the thing is now, it's like there's a lot of thing, as he said, it's like, they're not making the fights because they're scared of losing their oath. Well, as long as you've got two guys in a competitive fight, it doesn't matter what level they're at.
Yeah. Quick take on the last minute and a half. Your thoughts on Fury versus NGANNOU? Last thoughts.
Let's go to Eman first.
Eman.
I was just gonna say, I think, don't get me wrong, obviously NGANNOU's been in UFC, but he did a lot of boxing before he got into the UFC. So I'm really hoping that people underestimate him and he actually shocks Tyson Fury. I would love to go more in depth, but I'll let Eric go.
I think it's going to be a waste of time. It's going to be trash, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be something in a contract that says Ngannou can't knock him down. I guarantee you, it's going to be an exhibition fight. No one's really going to get hurt, because I think Tyson's going to try and preserve himself for December. That's my thought.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. We saw Tyson Fury long it out against Chisora, didn't we? So I think he'll take it a couple of rounds, make sure the crowd get their money's worth, and then he'll put a stoppage in, or the referee will chuck in the towel or something. So Baz?
I think it's a joke. It's been a pleasure, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, man.